with fire and fury.
I loved Call of Duty Zombies. I really did. I remember days when I played Match Der Toten on the PS3 with my brother and nephew. It was a fun and terrifying experience. The competitions we had to reach the highest round we could were fun. Then more maps and items were added, adding a lot to the gameplay. Then that same experience went to Black Ops, and the fun continued. And then Black Ops 2 was released, and I was disappointed. So what happened? How did we get here? And what went wrong with zombies? And what does the future hold for the franchise? That is what I want to know, and what I hope to pass on to you guys. But in order for all of us to fully understand what went wrong with this small series, we must look through its development history.
It's on! It's on like...
Before we get into the history of this game mode, it seems appropriate to at least explain what the Zombies game mode is. Nazi Zombies or Zombies mode is a horde survival game added into Call of Duty World at War as an Easter egg on November 11th, 2008. The game consists of 1 to 4 players surviving hordes of zombies, wave after wave. The zombies grow more stronger and faster as the player continues to survive, which the player can counter with buying new weapons from either the wall or the mystery box, which gives the player a random weapon. There is no end to the mode as there are a limitless amount of zombies. Later iterations of the Zombies franchise will add new perks and weapons, but that will be saved for later.
I have plans!
Dumbass!
The development of the Zombies minigame is an incredibly interesting one. There are a few influential figures many of us must be wary about when discussing the early history of zombies. Jesse Snyder, Dan Bunting, and Sean Slayback. We start with the early development. Call of Duty World at War was made to revert the series back to its World War II roots after a short time in the modern world with Call of Duty 4. It was running on an enhanced version of the game engine used in Modern Warfare with slight adjustments to physics. As studio head of Treyarch Studios Mark Lanier put it, with Call of Duty World at War, we're redefining what it means to play a World War II game. With such a grand idea, there was bound to be some extra content added to entice players to play the game. Early in World at War's development, lead designer Jason McCord and Jesse Snyder were trying to come up with some nice extras to add to this new installment. They eventually came to the idea of having a player stuck in a German bunker and perform D-Day on those filthy white men storming Normandy. However, many people shot the idea down due to the fact that no one wanted to play as the Germans in that scenario, since the Americans win either way. Months pass and a few ideas are thrown around. Dan Bunting, one of the producers, asks Jesse for extra content, but Jesse is still unsure on what to do. As he put it in his blog, I still really like the concept of being overrun and not really being able to win. So he suggested to Dan a tower defense style game mode. This eventually led to him talking to one of the designers, Sean Slayback, about the idea of a tower defense game mode. Sean almost immediately responded with The Last Stand, a zombie survival flash game developed by con artists and released on armorgames.com. During Jesse's playthrough, he had an eureka moment in which he thought to have the same playstyle, but with zombie Nazis. He then pitched the idea to Dan, but Dan disapproved the idea, citing time restraints and theme differences. So Jesse decided to pitch the idea to different members of his team, and many people liked the idea. But Dan had his mind set on a bunker defense game, which Jesse states was missing all the fundamentals of what makes a good tower defense game. After some back and forth, Jesse finally decided to make his own prototype for his Zombie Nazis mode. After a weekend, he showed the prototype to his fellow co-workers, and the rest is development history. The bunker game mode Dan proposed was scrapped, and Jesse's mode was in. On November 11th, 2008, Call of Duty World at War was subsequently released and has had both critical and financial success, selling a total of 1.88 million units on its first month, with total lifetime sales equaling 16 million units, not far off from Modern Warfare's 18 million. Comparatively, critics praise the game for its portrayal of the Second World War. But what about the Zombies mode? Well, the Zombies mode received its fair share of reviews. A majority of those reviews can be summed up with a few simple statements. Though the random weapon box, assorted power-ups, and skills of your teammates add some variation, each playthrough is similar to the last. Still, it makes for some intense, frantic fun and provides a welcome, if slightly bizarre, change of pace. It was a massive success, not just amongst critics, but also fans. People commenting on forums talking about their highest round. People googling strategies for Nach der Untoten. This once simple game mode was slowly becoming popular. Then on March 19th, 2009, the first World at War DLC map pack was released and introduced the newest map to the Zombies series, Verakt. It introduced the newest addition to the game mode, known as Perca-Colas, which gave the player certain abilities, such as faster reloads, damage resistance, double the fire rate, and quicker revive times. After it was released, Jesse Snyder left Treyarch to work on Halo 4 at 343 Industries, which he seemed to really enjoy, as his own blog post states. And sadly, not many people seem to credit him for conceptualizing the zombie concept in the first place. Many tribute zombies to Zelensky from this point forward, which isn't wrong, because Zelensky had been a major role and has stayed with the Zombies franchise all the way up to Black Ops 2 with Transit. But to say he's the creator is downright false. No one seems to be mentioning this little tidbit in their origin articles about zombies. Why would they not mention it? It's literally on Activision's own blog post, you moronic journalists. It takes almost nothing to look into it. I went off in a tangent, so back to the history. Map packs 2 and 3 were released. Map pack 2 containing the swamp zombie map, Shino Numa, which introduced the Hellhound enemy, and map pack 3 containing the lab map, Der Eyes, which introduced the pack A punch machine. This was the Zombies game mode's height in terms of popularity, and Activision sees this, which is incredibly noticeable in their inclusion of Spec Ops mode in Modern Warfare 2. Needless to say, that didn't work out, so they try again, in Call of Duty, Black Ops.
Good!
Released in November 9th, 2010, Black Ops was released to critical acclaim though with some disappointment. The Zombies mode also returns with 3 different maps, COD der Neutered, 5, and Dead Ops Arcade. Now from this point Jimmy Zelensky has taken complete control of the series. Well, technically he started taking control once Jesse left, but that's a little unimportant detail. Kino is loved by many people, with various forum posts dedicated to debating on whether it's the best map in the game. 5 introduced a little bit of extra complexity to the Zombies game mode, and introduced the Death Machine power-up, Bonfire Sale, and the boss zombies, and Dead Ops Arcade was a nice extra. On February 1st, 2011, in Xbox 360, Black Ops received its first DLC, titled First Strike. This included the map Ascension, which was directed by Zelensky, although he admits that the map was too big, that parts had to be cut out once it shipped, and introduced more complexity to the way the map plays out, with the inclusion of launch pads and 2 new Perca-Colas, Stamina Up and PhD Flopper. On May 3rd, 2011, the second map pack, Escalation, was released, which included the Call of the Dead Zombies map. This map featured George A. Romero, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Robert Englund, Danny Trejo, and Michael Rooker, all action and or horror movie stars. It includes all 6 previous perks, and a new perk called Deadshot Daiquiri. June 28, 2011, the map pack Annihilation was released with the zombie map Shangri-La. Not much new was added to this map other than more complexity and new zombie types. Finally, on August 23rd, 2011, the map pack Resurrection was released. This introduced nothing but zombie maps, dating all the way back to Nach der Untoten, and a new map called Moon. This map introduced the Mule Kit perk, and even more complexity to the mode. This is nearing the end of Zelensky's zombie reign.
What? No!
Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was released on November 12, 2012, and was met with critical acclaim, but not praise from the fans, especially within the Zombies mode. There were a total of 4 maps that launched with the game: Transit, Bus Depot, Town, and Farm, with the introduction of new characters, Molten Johnson, Russman, Samuel Stuhlinger, and Abigail Brighton, and a new perk, Tombstone Soda. However, if you pre-ordered the game in either the Hardened Edition or Care Package Edition, the $299 edition of this fucking game, or the $50 Season Pass, you would receive a bonus zombie map called Nuketown, which is totally not playing this map to death already. Nothing new was introduced in either maps, except with the addition of crafting. Transit was the last map Zelensky worked on, at least the one he likes to mention, and after that point, Jason Blundell basically took over the zombie series, although he wouldn't direct anything until Mob of the Dead. Die Rise and the Diner map from Transit were released in the Revolution map pack on January 28, 2013, and added 1 new perk, Who's Who, as well as added verticality to the Zombies game mode. Mob of the Dead was the next Zombies map released on the Uprising map pack on April 16th. 2013, and introduced 4 new characters, which will be on the screen. This was Blundell's first attempt at directing the zombie series, but not his last. This map included many new mechanics such as Afterlife, and a new perk, Electric Cherry. This is where the story behind zombies really starts to take a different direction. On July 2nd, 2013, the map pack Vengeance was released along with the zombie map Buried. A new perk is added, Vulture Aid. And finally, on August 27th, 2013, the map pack Apocalypse was released and contained the map Origins. This brings back the original 4 characters back in a World War I setting, with so much added content, including but not limited to, a new perk machine, Der Wunderfizz, although technically Der Wunderfizz only gives you a random perk, elemental staffs, giant robots, and a tank. And that's all the zombies map for Black Ops 2. No, we aren't done yet, because Activision loves milking successful series to the ground. Activision decided to cash in more on the Zombies franchise, 2 times to be exact. First time was in Call of Duty Ghosts, with the mode Extinction, released alongside the game on November 3rd, 2013. Next, we have Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, developed by Sledgehammer Games, and released on November 4th, 2013. This game included a small Exo Zombies mode which can be unlocked, and is in no way an attempt to bring in the Treyarch fans to play the game. 3 years after the release of Black Ops 2, Treyarch releases their newest title, Black Ops 3, on November 6, 2015. And they got another opportunity to milk that Zombies franchise some more. The launch map is called Shadows of Evil, also Dead Ops Arcade 2, but no one cares about that. I'm also ignoring the giant map, because that's a collector and season pass bonus. It features 4 new characters, Nero Blackston, Jessica Rose, Jack Vincent, and Floyd Campbell. And 2 new perks, Widow's Wine and Gobblegum. But it feels like they are starting to run out of ideas. Next we have the Awakening map pack, released on February 2nd, 2016, on PlayStation 1st this time around, and the map pack came with the Der East and Rash Zombies map. This one features a dragon. That's it. Next map pack was released on April 19th, 2016, titled Eclipse. It adds nothing new except a bucket.
Dear God.
Sewer pipe and seeds. Next map comes from the Decent map pack and features the map Gorod Krovi. This map also has a fucking dragon. How great. And finally, the map pack Salvation was released on September 6th, 2016, and features the map Revelations. And again, nothing new, aside from the original maps and others making a soft comeback. But Activision and Treyarch are not done taking your money yet, because on May 16th, 2017, they released Zombies Chronicles, which re-releases a lot of the old maps in a remastered state. Never mind that there were blatant censorships done with the originals and additions to them that were unwarranted. Give them your money. And now, in 2017, Activision announces Call of Duty World War II. I see you're following in DICE's footsteps after your shitty game hardly made you money. Aren't you Activision and Sledgehammer? Oh, but now you also announced a Zombies mode. How fucking brilliant. But that is the summed up history of zombies. Everything from its humble beginnings to its neutered present. And now that that's out of the way, we can finally discuss what truly went wrong with this much beloved franchise. Until next video though, in about 2 months.